Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gran Turismo Timetrial. We're in a brand new car. Yes, it's only just been added to Gran Turismo 7 and we're already using it. It's the Skoda VGT Gran Turismo car in my favourite livery of the two liveries available. We're at Watkins Glen, if you hadn't already guessed, racing medium tyres. I've put the goal difficulty at medium. Yes, the brakes are atrocious, or actually more understeer is atrocious. It's a mixture of the two. Estimate a 136.400 for the gold estimate. I do think it's very doable, to be honest, and I will explain that more a little bit later on in this video. If you do enjoy this video, do give it a like, do subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. We are on this journey to 50,000 subscribers, and we are getting ever closer, so a big thank you to everyone who has subscribed. Let's jump into this lap then. Heading towards turn number 1, you're going to use the 400 board or the board on the right hand side, the big electronic board there on the right. Either of these, okay? So the one on the right hits the edge of your screen, you're going to hit the brakes. Just before the 400 is when you want to brake. If you try and brake after, you're going to go a little bit deep, to be honest. You want a nice run here. Hard on the brakes then, and as we come into here, I want to release the brakes and then start accelerating. The problem with this car, it's got so much power, if you start accelerating too early, you will understeer. Now, as we go up here, you're noticing already I'm starting to struggle with a little bit of understeer. So when you get to the end of the curb here on the right side, you need to turn left. You need to turn left immediately. If you don't turn left, you're going to understeer. Now, if you do not do it immediately, you can lift a little bit and carry on. This car gets to its top speed very quickly. But to get the very best times, you want to do this flat. And as you can see, it is possible to do it flat. You get to breathe a little bit now as you head towards the bus stop chicane, which is very dangerous in this car. So what we're looking for here is the 500 board and the 400 board. Now, you want to brake in the middle of these. You can try and brake a bit later if you're trying to go for rank 1 time, but I advise braking a bit earlier here. Brake in between these boards. Even at the 500 board, you can brake early and let the car roll through the corner. One of the key tricks of this car is to let the car roll. So I try and straight line the brake in here and then go towards the left-hand side. Notice I'm not really doing anything there, letting the car roll through the corner. I accelerate a little bit and then let the car roll a little bit here. I'm just dabbing the brakes a teeny tiny bit here. I'm trying to slow it down to around 100 miles an hour. Now, I've actually gone to just 104 rather than 100. So I've actually done this quite well, this corner. Now, the Marshall box there, the I Love New York Marshall box, that is your accelerating marker. So when you're at this point, you're close to the curb, you can start accelerating and you should make the corner absolutely fine. If you feel you're going to understeer a little bit, do lift off, but you shouldn't need to, okay. Now, on the right-hand side, we've got the Coca-Cola sign. Yes, we're braking this early for this corner. Now, I do say the brakes are bad, but actually we're going very fast here, so arguably you do need to brake earlier. So the Coca-Cola sign on the right-hand side, the end of it is your brake marker for this left-hander. For the next few corners, you want to stay as tight as possible. So come in as tight as you can and let the car roll through the corner. When you see this orange barrier up ahead in the center of your screen, that's when you want to start accelerating. I hope you noticed how tight I was on this corner. I was very tight, and you want to do this for the next few corners. Tight is better. You want to drive this like a front-wheel drive car, essentially. You're trying to get around the corner as quick as possible, get the car straight so you can just use all that power to accelerate very quickly to its top speed. In towards this right-hander, the 300 board on the left-hand side is your brake marker. Once again, you want to keep as tight as possible. If you end up trying to go too deep here, you're going to lose loads of time because the car just doesn't want to turn. So hit the brakes early, keep to the inside line, keep a nice tight line, and let the car roll where you need to. Notice here then, I'm just releasing the brakes, letting the car roll. I'm trying to get on the throttle, but I know I can't go full throttle until I can see the exit, and then I start to go. I'm going to head towards the next corner then, and once again, it's going to be a very early brake marker on the left-hand side, the 300 board there. Now, you can brake just after the 300 board, in fact, as long as you start pointing the car towards the curb, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to brake just as it leaves the screen on the left-hand side. You can just see that on chase cam there. And again, I'm aiming towards the corner here because I want to get as close as I can. Notice that I'm trying to brake towards the corner. I keep it nice and tight, and then I accelerate. Now, we're going to continue on out of here. Be careful of track limits. And as we go up here, the 200 board here is your brake marker. I advise you brake before that. And you can see I've just started braking early myself. Once again, a nice tight line here. So I'm going to aim towards the corner, even more so than I did on the last corner. I really should have aimed a bit closer. I lost a bit of time there because I didn't aim as close to the corner as I did here. So once again, aiming as tight as I can, close as I can. Look how close I am to that curb. I'm keeping it nice and tight. Getting around the corner and then full throttle out of the corner. As we get towards this fast left-hander, what I'm going to do is brake at the 200 board as I turn in here. Now, what you want to do here is drop to around about 120 miles an hour, okay? 120 miles an hour is a good place to start braking. So that's what I highly advise here as you go into here. It will obviously a little bit, and you know, around 120. I actually went down to 114 there. I'm trying to accelerate as quick as I can, but I realize it will understeer. As we get towards the final corner, then we've got a pole on the right-hand side, okay? That is what I use as a brake marker. You can try and use the tyres up ahead where it goes to Armco as a bit of a judgment. But again, you want to turn in early here. Brake early, turn in early. You want to just clip the curb to accelerate out. You don't want to go too deep because then you're waiting for the car to turn even more. It doesn't like to turn, this car. Head towards the line, then accelerating towards it, and this is a 134.1. It nearly ranked 1 in the world at the time, actually. Now we're going to go into the pad lap here then, just to prove it is possible on the pad. In fact, I actually found the car easier to drive on a pad than I did on the wheel. So I did the same brake markers, same thing here. I have to lift a bit more on the pad. Notice I lifted a little bit there, over towards left hand side, I lift a little bit. I'm pretty sure you can do it flat on a pad, but it's harder to nail right there. But a lift is absolutely fine. I'm actually only a tenth and a half to 2 tenths slower here than my wheel time. Between the 500 and 400 board, hard on the brakes, doing the exact same thing here again, straight lining it, letting the car roll, and then accelerating. Now, because I'm on the analog sticks on the pad, obviously this is easier. I'm doing the exact same thing here, letting the car roll, getting down to around 104 mile an hour there, exactly the same, trying to accelerate as early as I can. I did have to lift a little bit there on the pad. Coca-Cola board on the right side, hard on the brakes. Again, trying to keep a nice tight line. Once the orange is in the center of my screen, I start accelerating. The ghost ahead is my own ghost here as we go towards the right-hander then, 300 board. Again, looking for a nice tight line here, letting the car roll. I was trail braking a bit more there into the corner as we continue on out of here then, and we're going to head towards the end of the sector. So 58.3 there. We lost about 3 tenths compared to my wheel time as we go into this right-hander. In fact, it might have been 4 tenths there. Now, I got that corner a bit wrong here on the pad, but I also want you to look at the mileage I've done on this pad, okay? 4 miles. Now, I did track limits on my first lap, so this is my second lap on the pad in this car. I've not used the pad since last week. Not doing too shabby here. So the 200 board on the right again, braking. 120 mile an hour is what I'm aiming for there. I'll drop to 114, trying to accelerate once again. It looks very similar to my wheel lap. That's because it is. You drive it the exact same way. There is no difference here, really, between the pad and the wheel. We're going to accelerate towards the line. This is a 135.2. 134s are very much possible here on the pad. Now, I just want to explain as well, I'm on ABS week. So if you haven't seen my ABS video, I'll link it at the end of this video just to explain weak and default. This car understeers. So, as I said in that video, go towards weak because it will help you out massively. But default is possible to do gold here. I can tell you that now. I was in the 34s on default. I went to weak just to go a bit quicker. Speaking about brake markers again, so the 500 and 400 board here, in between them, hard on the brakes, looking to straight line this as much as I can, and then turn left, let the car roll through the corner, accelerate a little bit, and then let off again, and then I'm just going to slowly go on the brakes a little bit, not too much, allow the car to turn in, marshal box, I'm going to accelerate out, look at that Coca-Cola board on the right hand side, once again, hard on the brakes, so they're going to here, and looking for a nice tight line, and that's what I'm going to try and do here, try and get the car around the corner so I can accelerate quick as I can, and really maximize the speed of this car. The 300 board on the left hand side, hard on the brakes, once again, a nice tight line on this right hand, letting the car roll a little bit, trying to get on the throttle early, trying to maintain just a couple of miles an hour there just to keep the speed up, but you don't have to do that. Don't worry too much about it. I'm going to accelerate now towards the 300 board on the left hand side. Just after that leaves the screen, hard on the brakes here. I love the brakes on the back of this car, the air brakes. They are fascinating to look at. As we go up here then, the 200 board on the right side, hard on the brakes. In we go, nice tight line once again. Keep it nice and tight. Once we can see the exit, let's just go. Put our foot down. You can hear the wheel spin from the front tyres there. It really does love it. 200 board there, hard on the brakes, turn in. We're just allowing the car to roll through the corner where we can. Pull on the right side, brake, turn in. Literally clip the curb if we can. Start to accelerate where we believe we can make the corner. Just be careful about running on track limits on the exit of that corner. Once again, heading towards the line, that's a 134.1. The pad lap was a 135.2, but 134s are available on the pad as well. So, some key things to really take note of in this one. Let the car roll through corners. Don't have to brake, don't have to accelerate. Let the car roll. It will still do a good lap. Brake early. It's better to brake early and not be aggressive in this car. And I'm using ABS weak. If you enjoyed this video and the tips do help you out, do give it a like. Do subscribe to the channel. As I say, we are on that journey to 50,000 subscribers. But that is going to be it for me and this video. You can use my code Tidgney on GT Amiga if you're after some Simrig stuff, or a Moser wheel, of course, or Fanatec on the right side. There's a link in the description, and it would help me out massively if you do use that link. 2 videos there to check out, including the ABS video, but that's it for me, folks. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.